So then guys, welcome back to the channel for a brand new video, and in today's video we will be going through Game Week 7 predictions for Sky Bet League 2, going through each game and predicting the result of this game week in Sky Bet League 2. Today's guest is a returning guest of the channel. We did try and get a different guest to come on, but complications meant that the guest that we was going to get on, we couldn't get on this week, will be next week, is Elliot. But today's guest and this week's guest is Luke. Very good mate. Couldn't get my words out. Very good mate. Good partner of the channel as well. So he'll be giving his predictions for Game Week 7 of League 2. And yeah, make sure to smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you are new. Turn the notification bells on as well, so you know exactly when we upload a video or go live. And yeah, let's just get straight into the video. Big shout out to Luke as always, and also enjoy the video. And the first game sees Accrington Stanley take on Port Vale as the 12:30 or one of the 12:30 kickoffs. Now Accrington last week lost 1-0 to Crewe Alexandra at home, an 85 minutes goal from Zach Williams saw Crewe take all 3 points in that one, whilst their visitors for this Saturday fixture, Port Vale, after a bad start really, obviously beat us 4-1 at Rodney Parade, and they won last week, beating Chesterfield 1-0 thanks to the South African Ethan Chislett. Accrington Stanley then sit 23rd out of 24th this season. Haven't won a game yet all season, conceded 14 goals, the most in the league, level with Carlisle United. Whilst Port Vale are slowly pushing up in towards the playoff places. They currently sit 8th in the league. And like I said, the first 4 games weren't the best, but back-to-back wins for Port Vale has seen them rise up to 8th. In terms of a score prediction for this, I think Port Vale will find it very easy. I'm going to go Accrington 1, Port Vale 3.
Hello guys, it's me again, Luke. I am back for the League 2 predictions on the Mike Green channel. And last time I was here, I predicted Newport County to win 3-1, and we did. So let's hope I can have some more of that. The first game is Accrington against Port Vale. Newport have played both of these sides, beating Accrington 3-1, and well, we all know what happened against Port Vale. We lost 4-1. We didn't turn up, but no disrespect, but Accrington are terrible. Port Vale are a very good, well-drilled side. They showed that against us. And I think Port Vale will take this 3-0.
Second game then, as the second 12:30 kickoff, is Chesterfield taking on Cheltenham Town. As I mentioned in the previous clip, Chesterfield lost 1-0 away at Vale Park to Port Vale, whilst Cheltenham, Michael Flynn's team, also lost last week, losing 2-1 to Salford City. Hakeeb Adelican double for Salford, got all 3 points for the Ammies. Cheltenham then do sit in 19th place, only the 2 wins all season, quite a leaky defence as well, whilst Chesterfield are currently 6 games in, 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats, very equal on their first 6 games in the League 2 season. And in terms of my prediction, I think Cheltenham will lose again. I think that Chesterfield, back on their home patch, I fully believe and fully imagine that it'll be a much better result and performance from Chesterfield. I'm going to go 1-0.
So, Chesterfield against Cheltenham. Tough game, that. It's quite hard to predict the outcome for that one, because it is a good side, you know. 2 good teams trying to build in League 2, and I really don't know. It's a hard one to predict. I'm going to go Chesterfield 2, Cheltenham 0.
This game of the 3 o'clock kickoff sees Barrow take on my boys Newport County. Now Barrow last week, you know, they're in some really good form at the moment. They beat Grimsby Town 2-1 away from home. Sam Foley and Theo Vassell getting the goals there, whilst we absolutely fell apart at Swindon. You know, the first 20 odd minutes where we went 3-0 down, and then the 4th right on the stroke of half-time really killed us. And that performance was just really bad. A really bad performance from us at Swindon, like it was the week before against Port Vale. We currently sit 10th in the league, a point off the playoffs then. only 5 points off the top of the table, whilst Barrow sit in third. Only the one defeat out of their 6 coming in the Cumbrian Derby, but they do sit in the automatic promotion places. It would be so easy to just go for a Barrow win, but I'm going to back the boys. I don't know why. I don't know why I've got the optimism, but I'm going to go Barrow 0, Newport County 1, and potential signs of that Mickey Dimitro winner a few seasons back. I'm going to go 1-0 Newport.
Next up, the away game, Barrow against Newport County. Obviously, we haven't really been... We've been hit and miss this season, and Barrow away doesn't seem to do us any favours at this time anyway. But I can't predict my team to lose. So, for that reason, I'm going to go Newport 2. Newport 2, Barrow 0.
So then is a game at Vale Parade as Bradford City take on AFC Wimbledon. Now, obviously, last week, we all know what happened for AFC Wimbledon. A 3-0 win in the derby against MK Dons, with Maycock scoring 2 and Miles Hippolyte scoring the other, whilst Bradford City lost in the 88th minute thanks to a Daniel Johnson goal for Walsall at the Bestcott. And going into this one, Bradford City have been different in form in this season. You know, they were unbeaten from the first 3, then a loss and a win and a loss has sort of restructured their form. But yeah, they currently sit in 7th place in League 2, whilst AFC Wimbledon do sit in 5th. I think this is going to be a really good game. I think there could be lots of goals in it. I'm going to go for a Desmond. Bradford City 2, AFC Wimbledon 2.
Bradford City against AFC Wimbledon. 2 teams who've had a very strong start to the season. Wimbledon sitting in 5th. Bradford sitting in 7th. Had to predict this, but Wimbledon would be on a high after beating their franchise FC MK Dons 3-0. And I think Wimbledon will take this comfortably. I'm going to go Bradford 1, Wimbledon 3.
Next up then is a game at the JobServe Community Stadium as Colchester United take on Tranmere. Now, Colchester were involved in a 6-goal thriller at the Globe Arena, the Mazuma Stadium, whatever you want to call it, as they drew 3-3 with Morecambe on the weekend. A very late Flanagan own goal and a Jones penalty for Morecambe rescued the point, because they were 3-1 down in that one, Morecambe, and O'Hara Edwards getting a goal, Lyle Taylor, Samson Tavide, a 3-3 draw in that one, whilst Tranmere were handed their first defeat of the season as they lost at the hands of Gillingham by 3 goals to 0, with Amani Little, Clark getting 2. In terms of the table then, Tranmere sit 14th, that obviously being their first defeat of the season, while Colchester sit in 17th. Again, I think this is going to be another tight game. I'm going to go with Colchester United 1, Tranmere Rovers 1.
Colchester United against Tranmere Rovers. 2 teams down the lower end of the table. Tranmere always come good eventually. And, Tranmere have built quite a good side, Signings like Amari Patrick, Cameron Norman. I think they've improved quite a lot. And I think Tranmere win this. I'm going to go 2-1 to Tranmere.
Next up then is 2 teams that won on the last match day. Harrogate Town, of course, got that incredible 2-0 win against Doncaster Rovers on the Thursday night, whilst Crewe Alexandra got a 85th minute lead, or 85th minute winner away from home against Accrington Stanley. Crewe Alexandra then, considering they had a bad start to the season, they didn't win in their first 3. They've won 3 games on the bounce. They sit in 9th on 10 points, whilst Harrogate Town, their second win of the season, puts them up to 16th. 2 wins out of their first 6. And again, I think this one is going to be one-sided in terms of the result, but maybe not the way the game goes. I'm going to go Crewe Alexandra 2, Harrogate 0. I think Crewe are hitting form again after a poor start, and we know when Crewe hit form they can perform exceptionally well. I'm going to go Crewe 2, Harrogate 0.
Crewe Alexandra against Harrogate Town. This is a must-win game for Crewe. They've been very, very disappointing. You know, they've had some heavy defeats. And I think this is a game that they can look at home and think, you know, we can do something here. But Harrogate always seem to pull something out the bag. Now and then they do surprise a few, but I think Crewe have to win it. It's not up for negotiation, really. You know, if you're a Crewe fan, you're thinking, you know, this is a game that we have to win. So I'm going to go Crewe 1, Harrogate Town 0.
Next up is two teams I expected to be quite down in the table, to be honest, at the start of the season, and it is Grimsby Town against Bromley. Bromley last week, they were 2-0 up against Notts County, an incredible Notts County side, and they managed to somehow come from 2-0 down to win 4-2 Notts County in that one, whilst Grimsby, as I mentioned, lost 2-1 at home to Barrow. Bromley, though, if you look at the table, you know, 6 games in their first ever season at the Football League. They sit in 15th place, whilst Grimsby sit in 21st. I think this one is going to be a decent game. You know, both teams weren't expected to, you know, well, Bromley especially weren't expected to sort of be in the situation that they are early on into the season. Grimsby in and around there is what they expected. I'm going to go Grimsby 1, Bromley 1.
Grimsby Town against Bromley. You know, Bromley have had quite a good start to life in League 2. I think everyone thought that they would struggle, but I think that they've done very, very well so far. They've had some difficult games. They definitely gave Notts County a game, you know. To only lose 4-2, I know they were 2-0 up, but Notts County showed their class in the end. But I think they are a very, very good side, Bromley. I think Bromley will beat Grimsby easily. I think it'll be Grimsby 1. Outrageously, I'm going to go Grimsby 1, Bromley 4.
Next up is MK Dons taking on Doncaster Rovers. Now, MK Dons have just lost their manager, Mike Williamson, who has gone to Carlisle United, taking on a Doncaster Rovers side who, you know, are, in my opinion, a team that could potentially get promoted this season. They did, of course, lose last week, as I just mentioned, against Harrogate 2-0. But in that one, you know, they had chances. You know, Billy Sharp had a couple of chances. You know, they're a Doncaster a side that they can not have chances and just create a moment of magic with Luke Molyneux, with Billy Sharp. And I think that was just a bad day at the office last week against Harrogate. Talking of a bad day at the office, MK Dons got absolutely thumped in their Derby Day loss 3-0 to AFC Wimbledon. MK Dons sitting 20th in League 2. Where, you know, they shouldn't be 20th in the league. Doncaster sitting 6th, only their second defeat of the season, that. And I think this is going to be a pretty comfortable and straightforward win for the visitors. I'm going to go MK Dons 1, Doncaster Rovers 3.
MK Dons against Doncaster Rovers. MK Dons are struggling. And the way Doncaster are playing, yeah, they lost 4-0 to Harrogate Town, or 3-0, or whatever it was. But I think it'll be too easy for Doncaster here. I can only see nothing more than a Doncaster comfortable win. I'm going to say Doncaster to take this. I'm going to go 3-0.
Next up then is a mammoth game in League 2. Sees Notts County take on Gillingham. As we mentioned, Notts County come from 2-0 behind to beat Bromley 4-2 last week. Goals again from you know the players that you'd expect: Jones, Crowley, Jatta. Again, they're a phenomenal team. Notts County taking on another phenomenal team in Gillingham. Mark Bonner's side, who beat Tranmere last week 3-0. In terms of the league table, then Notts County and Gillingham are first and second in the league. Notts County have not lost a game all season. Gillingham only lost one. That was against Doncaster 2 weeks ago. This is going to be a high-scoring game. I think Notts are going to continue their good form, and I'm going to go for Notts County 3, Gillingham 2.
First against second. Notts County versus Gillingham. A very, very good game this is going to be. But I think both sides are going to cancel each other out. I think most people would favour a Notts County win. But I think it's going to be a draw. And I think it's going to be an entertaining draw. I'm going to go Notts County 3, Gillingham 3.
Penultimate game then of Saturday's fixtures sees Salford City entertain Walsall at the Peninsula Stadium. Salford, like I mentioned, beat Cheltenham last week, 2 goals from their new signing, Hakeeb Adelakun, getting all 3 points for the Ammies, whilst Walsall also won 2-1 at home, beating Bradford City, a very late Daniel Johnson goal in the 88th minute. Salford won in the 86th minute last week, and Walsall won in the 88th. So both teams do fight till the very end in their given games. In terms of my score prediction, I just look at the table. Salford sitting in 13th place, whilst Walsall sitting in 4th. I think that Salford, despite they getting a bit of form together now, not lost in their last 4 after losing on the opening day. I just think that Walsall are a better side, and I'm going to go for Salford 1, Walsall 2.
Salford City against Walsall. I don't think Salford are anything special, to be honest. And I think Walsall, they've won 4 out of 6. You know, they've been very, very good, Walsall. They're looking strong, they're looking ready. So I think Walsall will take this. I'm going to go Salford 0, Walsall 1.
Final game of Saturday now, not the final game of the match day. Final game of Saturday sees Swindon Town entertain Carlisle United. New manager Carlisle United, Mike Williamson, signed as the new Carlisle manager from MK Dons. Swindon, of course, we know what they done last week. They absolutely battered us 4-0. We don't need to talk any much more into that. Was Carlisle United, again, another game where you could probably say they've lost it again, and they've lost it themselves. Carlisle 2, Fleetwood 3. In terms of how both teams sit in the table, Swindon, after that first win of the season, has taken them up to 18th, whilst Carlisle United are still in awful form. They lost their last 4. They lost 5 out of their first 6. Only scoring 6 goals in 6 games. Can Mike Williamson turn it around at Carlisle? And first of all, will he be in the dugout for that game at Swindon? I'm not too sure, but I'm going to go with a 1-0 Swindon. If Mike Williamson is in charge, I still think it'll be a hard ask in his first game. And if he's not in charge, I definitely see Swindon getting all 3 points to back up last week's result. I'm going to go Swindon 1, Carlisle United 0.
Swindon Town against Carlisle United. Carlisle have got a new manager who left MK Dons to join Carlisle, and MK Dons were struggling. But now I think, even with a new manager, if he was struggling with MK Dons, I don't think he's going to do well at Carlisle. And Swindon will be on a massive high after beating us 4-0 last week. Can Swindon get back-to-back home wins, though? You know, surely that win has, sparked something in that Swindon side. And I don't really like Swindon, but I'm going to back a Swindon win here. I'm going to go Swindon 2, Carlisle 0.
Final game then of the match day is at is it Highbury? Is at Highbury for Fleetwood Town taking on Morecambe on Monday night. In terms of both teams, last week Fleetwood, as I just mentioned, got a 3-2 win away at Carlisle. Another big set of points for Charlie Adams' men, whilst Morecambe drew 3-3 against Colchester. They were 3-1 down in that one. Jones penalty and Flanagan own goal taking a point for Morecambe. Morecambe, though, do still sit bottom of the table. 3 goals in their first 6 games. Only 1 point. Whilst Fleetwood Town sitting in 12th, 2 points off the playoffs. Again, I think this will be another win for Fleetwood, another defeat for Morecambe. I'm only going to go for 1-0. I'm going to go Fleetwood Town 1, Morecambe 0. I think it'll be quite a tight game, but I think Fleetwood will edge it.
And the last game of these predictions on a Monday night is Fleetwood Town against Morecambe. You know, Morecambe have had a tough start to life back in League 2, but I think Morecambe, they are due a win at some point. And I think that win is going to come. I think they're going to brush aside Fleetwood. And I know it's away from home, and it's a tough place to go. But I think Morecambe can genuinely do something. They showed a lot of fight. Their manager sent off, their left back sent off. And they come from 3-1 down to draw 3-3. If that doesn't show fight, then what does? I'm going to go Fleetwood 0, Morecambe 1. They're finally going to win a game 1-0 instead of losing 1-0.
There we are. Those are mine and Luke's predictions for Game Week 7 of Sky Bet League 2. Please make sure to leave your predictions down below. As always, I always ask you guys to leave your predictions for the given game week in the comments section. Also, like the video as well. That massively helps the channel. And if you haven't subscribed already to the channel, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. And thanks for watching another video. And hopefully I get more predictions right other than Luke. But make sure to like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks to Luke, as always, for jumping in the last minute. And I'll speak to you in the next video. Thanks for watching.